I don't think God wants people to be poor. Poverty hurts. I mean, I don't like it. And today in the world is this gap between the rich and everybody else. And I know the game of the rich. The game the bankers and the rich play is different than what they teach you in school. And that's the story of Rich Dad, Poor Dad. You know, my Poor Dad, PhD, stands for poor, helpless, and desperate. They don't know anything about money. And they're teaching our kids. I'm sitting in this classroom, and my MBA accounting teacher doesn't know accounting, and I'm going nuts. I'm not an accountant, but I knew he wasn't an accountant also, so I took him on. I said, "Are you an accountant?" He goes, "I have a master's in accountancy." I said, "That's not the question. Are you an accountant?" "I have a master's in accountancy." I said, "You're a fake. You don't know what you're talking about." And to this day, when I listen to what people are teaching kids about accountancy, it's bad accountancy. They count anything of value as an asset. They count your car as an asset, your house as an asset, when it's really taking money from your pocket. Your retirement plan, guess what? It's a liability. It's taking money from your pocket every month. And whose pocket does it go to? Wall Street. Assets put money in your pocket. Liabilities take money from your pocket. An asset is a noun, like a house. Cash flow is a verb. So to understand if it's an asset or liability, it takes a noun plus verb. So if the cash is flowing out of your pocket, it's a liability. If the cash is flowing into your pocket, it's an asset. And so long as it's free. It doesn't take millions of dollars to change the world. Just change your words. Thank you very much. The question I want to know is, how do I beat the A students? Because in school, no matter what class I was in, I was always a C student, no matter what happened. I was, how come I'm always a C student? And I never really understood why. So that's why after I was about 27 years old, I started researching education, the system, and all this. Then I realized the whole system was set up for people like me to be in the middle, because what they found out in '83 was that there were 7 different intelligences, Guy Gardner. And I'm not strong in the top 2 intelligence, which is reading and math. I'm a horrible reader, I'm a horrible writer, I'm very slow at math, but I'm very good with my hands, and I'm also pretty good with what they call intrapersonal communication. There's interpersonal, which is communicating with another person, but intrapersonal is that communication with yourself. And if a person's very good at communication with self, you have a better chance of success. So the way I chunked it down, this has been 30 years, and again, I'm not a rocket scientist or a brain surgeon, is that the way you beat an A student was, I finally figured it out, was that we had 3 parts to a brain. We had the left brain, the right brain, and what I call the subconscious brain. Generally, when we say somebody's good at reading and writing and math, they're generally left brains. So these are the guys that do well in school. That is not me. I can read and I can write, but I read very slowly, and I can count as fast as my fingers can cheat on the single. And the right brain is the creative side. So this is analytical, and this is creative. So the way I solve problems is very simple. The way I beat an A student is, if I run into a problem saying, I don't have enough money, or how do I put this deal together, or how do I get to do this, it's not left brain, it's creative. I go spatial. So people who are artists and musicians and things like this, they're more right brain. They get hammered in school. You know what I'm saying? And then the subconscious mind, this is what they call the reactive mind. Also, there's a thing called reptilian brain in here. This is primal. This is fight or flight. It doesn't think, it reacts. So when I say to most people, quit your job, logically the left brain goes, oh yeah, I could make a lot of money as an entrepreneur. And the right brain goes, yeah, then I could have my new cookies go out in the market and I could be rich. And then the subconscious mind kicks in and goes, not you. The fear kicks in and all this. Now, the moment that fear kicks in, or greed, it doesn't make any difference, the brain drops, the blood drops out, goes here. The moment the blood drains out of here from the 2 things called the carotid arteries, it pulls down. It goes reptilian. You turn into this little reptile and cannot think anymore. That's for the last 30 years. I've been watching that. So when I talk to certain people, no mention who, I talk to them, they go reptilian on me so fast, I can't believe it. What if I fail? I'm making a mistake. You know, it's too risky out there. Or that's fear, and the other one's greed. You know, when the real estate market was climbing, all of these guys who had no business in real estate jumped in. Ah! You know, and the market crashes. Ah! They all jump out. So in other words, they go reptilian. Does that make sense? I call it the lizard. And when the sun's hot, they come on. When the sun's cold, they go inside. And they can't think because this is thinking. That makes sense, you guys? So the other side of it is, with me personally, there is the battle between the fat boy and the stud. I mean, every single morning I wake up and the stud says, okay, time to go to the gym. The fat boy goes, nah, not this morning. I don't think so, you know. I think I'll have a little chocolate latte and relax a little. Or when I said, I'm going to be rich, and the subconscious goes, not you, you're a loser. You know what I'm talking about here? It's the battle. It is the battle.